Good morning. I hope you have had a wonderful weekend. This is Karen Schaefer with W.I.N, the Women's Wealth and Impact Network, and I want to talk to you about pillar number 3 of the 12 pillars to extraordinary wealth and impact creation for women over 50. Pillar number 3 is one of those pillars that's so important, so vital, and yet a lot of people just assume it sort of happens magically. Wouldn't that be great if we all had just had a little magic in our lives? Pillar number 3 is marketing. I love marketing. I think it's fun. I think it's exciting. I love the results that it yields, but it can also prove to be very, very challenging. And I think to make it really simple, you simply have to think, give my customer what they want and what they need. Now, there's a marketing philosophy that says give them what they want versus what they need. But I think as a woman over 50, I really like getting what I want, but I also like getting what I need. And I think that that's really important. And a lot of times you'll find your customer doesn't really know what they need. They think that's what they want. Does that make sense? So, and if you think about it, think about your own life, right? What are the things that you think you need, but they're actually a want? And what you need is something different, right? So we might think of, well, what I want is to lose weight, but what I need is a consistent nutrition program, right? So there's a difference there. I'm going to give you an example. The other day, I went on a listing interview. And the reason I say interview is because somebody had referred me to this client. The agent that referred me actually was already listing the property, but unfortunately, due to some family circumstances, he had to walk away for a little while, right? We all need to nurture our souls sometimes. And he called me and he said, I just know you're the person for these people. And I said, oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. And he said, I've already told them all about you. They're excited to meet you. So I thought I was just going to walk in and help them get their house back on the market. And in reality, they were actually interviewing several agents. And I was like, oh. So the good news is I always walk in with my A game anyway, right? Because why not? I'm there to serve people. I'm there to serve my clients. I'm here to serve all of you. That's what I do. I love being in a path of service, and it's how I look at everything, and it really helps me to feel like I enjoy what I do, but it also just helps me to feel like I'm there 100%. I'm engaged, I'm ready to work, I'm ready to do my job, I'm ready to serve. So, having said all that, I got there. And this client, you guys, I'm multitasking ways. I'm walking on my treadmill while I'm talking to you. Can you all understand that, right? You can walk on your treadmill while you're listening to me. How's that? So I get there, and what I realize is these clients think they have been misrepresented by this previous agent, which was not the case. We happened to be in a very slow time while they went on the market. And this other agent that referred me did a great job, but they felt like they had been underserved. And the only way that I knew that was because I asked them questions. So as we start to get into marketing for our own businesses, you really have to, number one, know your customer. So we're talking about giving them what they want and what they need, right? So the only way to know that is simply to know your customer. And the only way you can learn who your customer is and what they want is by listening. So ask questions and listen. So that's kind of lesson number 1. What do they want? What do they need? Who are they? You have to know who they are in order to give them what they want and what they need. They're going to tell you what they want, but they won't know what they need. So in this case, my customer wants a bunch of people through their door because they think that's what will sell their house. But the reality is what they need is the right marketing to bring in the right person in order to sell their house. A lot of agents and real estate gurus will teach you it's a numbers game. Get as many people in the door as you can. Sometimes that's the case, but I think more than anything, because I like to deal in more of a higher end market, a luxury market, I think it's about getting fewer people in the door and getting the right people in. So I would rather have 10 of the right people in and sell it to one of them than 100 of the wrong people in. And so that's really just about getting to know your customer, right? So knowing the customer is key initially. The second thing that you really need to do is know where they are looking. So where's that customer looking in order to be marketed to? So if you're doing all your marketing online but your customer isn't online, then everything you're doing is for naught. You'll never figure out what they want and what they need. You have to know your customer, you have to know where they're looking, and then you have to understand what the right message is in order to be able to deliver that information to them, right? So know your customer, know where they're looking, and what's the right message. So when I was doing this interview for these people, I had to figure out, well, who are they? What do they want? And what's the message that I need to deliver to them? And as I sat and got to know them a little bit better, I really fully understood what I needed to deliver to them, what I needed to deliver to them, but I also understood what they wanted to be delivered to them. So I was able to create my message per se, create what I was going to say to them as I listened and started to really understand them more. And then the last two things, I think, is to be consistent and then track the results. So know your customer, know where they're looking, speak the right message, right? They have to hear what resonates with them. Be consistent. This is the biggest thing, I think, of all. Out of all of these 5 things is consistency. I think that we get frustrated. We don't see results. Somebody said something negative to us and hurt our feelings, which you'd be so surprised how often we stop when that happens. Oh my goodness. And there's so many reasons life gets in the way, right? If you are consistent, if you do anything consistently, whether it's working out, eating right, marketing, anything with consistency, you will see results. I'll guarantee it. You will see results. And then track it. Because what happens is, unless we're consistent and then we know the results by tracking it, we don't ever know if something works or not. So there's 5 things, right? When you're giving them what they want and what they need, it's knowing your customer. That's a big one, right? Where are they looking? How will they see your message? So know your customer. Where are they looking? What's the right message? That's a big one, right? And that's a whole other topic that we're going to talk about sometime. Be consistent and then track it. There's 5 things. I'll put those in a little download for you, and you can just grab them and use them for all your marketing as well. So I think that that's really how you learn what they want and then give them what they need. So I hope that helped you today. If you need anything else, just let me know. Other than that, I'm Karen Schaefer with W.I.N, the Women's Wealth and Impact Network for women over 50. I'll see you next time.